think so. I, s- I still think back in I think it was the one where John and Angerbayev pulled. I still like the one where they did the inductions into the Arm Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Okay, yeah.
I still think that was my favorite East versus West card of all time.
Okay, I mean that's fair. Like with who was on it then, I think this is the most powerhouse stacked card. Like,
That I would agree with.
yeah.
Yeah, we got some heavy hitters on this one.
Well, we can start off this way. Introducing our man Gar-Bear, the Phenom 76 kg IFA National Champ. This boy here just continues to impress. Absolutely love watching his progression. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you for a little bit and let you just kind of break down IFA and what your experience was there and the big old trophy that you got to take home along with your medals.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'd start off by saying I weighed in the day before. I was very nearly fully clothed. I pretty much just took off my shoes and my belt, and I came in at 78 kilograms, which was right at the top of the class. So I was real skinny that weigh-in day. And then, yeah, and then the next day we actually got into some arm wrestling. So first day was the seniors open left and right hand 78 kilogram division. I think they I think they started off with the left hand that day, which I always love it when tournaments do that because I prefer the left over the right. And yeah, they ran it till they found out who was the top two in the finals, which I actually appreciated that day. It gave me some time to rest up. And so my first matches I went through completely undefeated. I don't think anybody even took me off of center until the finals. So I was feeling real strong on my left that day. Went to the right and I did okay. Like I was struggling to top roll that day, so I had to kind of put my shoulder into it, which is something I haven't done a whole lot before, but it actually ended up working out pretty good. And I ended up taking third on the right, so I'm very happy with that. I didn't think I'd even place. And then we get to the finals where I end up going against Ben Bledsoe, who I pulled a ton of times at Colorado State, New Mexico State, and it's always the same thing with Ben. Like I'm I'm kind of getting disappointed at this point that he hasn't tried anything new.
So you just saying you have his number.
You know, I think he's smart enough and strong enough that if he tried something new, there might be a chance there. But if he keeps doing the same thing he always does, he's never going to beat me with it
Yeah.
because he always just goes straight sideways. His side pressure is so strong that he breaks his own wrist, and I just kind of got to sit there, wait to readjust, and bring him right back.
I
Like,
gotcha.
but honestly, I'd love to see him try something different. I'd love to. I know he's a better arm wrestler than what he's been doing against me. So
Well, I mean, you're giving him a lot of credit, but you're in that same regard, you're too much for him. I think regardless of whether he tries something new, he's not a top roller. He can't get the height on you. And in order for him to get the height on you, he'd have to drag you back. There's not really much he can do. He has to hit inside and try and contain you, and your hand is too strong.
he's not even hitting inside. He's just going straight sideways, letting his wrist flop back.
Well, that's what
But
I'm saying. He
I think
can't.
yeah, I think I got Ben no matter what, but I still want to see him try
Sure.
something else.
Well, he's been the man for a long time, so it's really cool to see the fights that have taken place between the two of you,
It's
and
always a fight. Like
it gave you recognition on armfighter.com. You took his number. So it's not just you haven't figured out figure of speech when you have somebody's number. You literally took his number off Arm Fighter. Granted, it did move around a little bit because of the round robin that took place, but you're
which I
still
fully expected. I fully
sure,
expected that.
but you're still nationally ranked there.
Number 12, last I checked.
Yeah. Number 12, number one in America left hand, that weight category. You got
Mm-hmm.
to take that. What do you want to do with it? So next up, you qualified for Worlds, which
Mm-hmm.
is in Greece.
And I think Worlds is definitely I'll definitely have the money to make the trip. It's the only problem I might be worried about is the time. So as long as I can get enough days to fly there, compete, and fly back, I'm there.
I think
And
anybody who you
I'm
go ahead.
yeah, I'm 100% excited for it because the U.S. team I think is going to be bigger than it's ever been before, and I think it's going to have a whole bunch of powerhouses, plenty of new guys. Like I think they said something last year that they brought home more they brought home more medals than they ever had before. I could be wrong about that, but if it's true, then I definitely think they're in an even better place now. So
That's awesome.
I think it's going to be great.
That is good. I think that even I know that you're starting a new career potentially, and I think that they'll be sympathetic to the magnitude of this potential opportunity. I don't
Yep,
think anybody would really, yeah, like, oh no,
had some
sorry.
asshole bosses in the past who didn't want to cooperate.
Yeah,
Hopefully, not going to happen
yeah,
again.
different avenue, and I think this comes with a lot more thunder behind it. So, like I really, I'm pulling for you. I hope that they see the
I mean,
light.
my plan already is I don't really have a whole lot more tournaments planned out for this year, just kind of the big ones and the ones I enjoy. Like including Worlds, it's probably looking like only 4 or 5 more this year.
Okay,
And if something pops up close to home that I can make the time for, I'll probably go. And maybe if there's some kind of big event that somebody shows some interest in bringing me to, I would go there. But yeah, I don't think it's not like I'm going to be asking them to give me a couple days every single weekend. So
sure,
I think I'll be fine.
sure, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Now with
Yeah,
this newfound um, kind of weight behind your name, is there anybody that you think that you want to go hunting for on the list, on the arm fighter list, or off
yeah,
of the air
that's
system?
definitely my plan. Yeah, I'm going to go after somebody on the arm fighter ranking first, not the airs list.
Okay,
There's 1 or 2 guys on airs that I'm interested in, but I want to get a little more strength in my arm before I go after them. But I think the guy right now, and God, I feel like I've said a whole bunch of different guys' names in the past couple of months. It keeps changing who I want to go after. But I think right now it's going to actually end up, I want to talk to. So, first step is I got to talk to Corey because I want my super match to be either at Wyoming or Colorado State. And honestly, most likely Colorado. And trying to talk Corey into giving me a super match is going to be a chore in itself, but I think he'll be sympathetic to it. And I think the guy I would want to go up against would be Josh Handeland.
okay. And where's he
So
set on arm fighter on the ranking?
after the round drop, before the round robin, he was number 6, but now he's number 9. So I'm number 12, he's number 9, and I think, and part of it is one, he won IFA last year, so we're both IFA champions in the same class on the same arm.
Okay.
So, and based on what I've seen, like it'd be a tough match style wise for me. I think he's a kind of a jack of all trades from what I've seen, but he has a really good hook. Um, and also just the guy recognized me. Like he reached out to me completely unprompted, saying congratulations for winning IFA. So obviously the guy knows who I am now, and I
Right.
think he just seems like a real stand-up guy. So
That's good. And what's this? You said so he's versatile. Is he built like you,
like
tall, lanky, or is he a shorter guy? I don't know much
I doubt his arms as long as mine because very few people in this class are.
yeah.
He doesn't look short though.
Okay.
But I mean, I remember seeing last year Corey managed to get 1 win on him at IFA, and then Josh, like he sucked Corey into a real deep hook and just brought him over, which was impressive. And then at the round robin, I'd have to go back and watch a lot of that. I can't remember where he placed, but yeah, but yeah, I think like I talked to Isaac Luna and he said me and Josh are actually pretty close. And I mean, if I can take anybody's word, it would be his.
For sure. For sure. Looking forward to seeing him in action. He's been training
I
great.
am too.
That was a good practice on Saturday.
I'm curious what's persuading him to come back now because he dropped off there for a little while. There's got to be some reason why he's coming back
I
now
think
of all time.
I would say honestly, it's kind of like the Liliev complex. The dude just beat everybody, and wanted a new talent pool to kind of emerge and see who's
No,
there.
no, I agree with you. It's just there has to be something new in that talent pool that he sees right now, which is why he would come back.
I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah, putting his name back in it. That's a strong
I'm
dude. I like.
curious what motivates him.
I think that we owe him a spot on here to talk with him too and get him going, and because that is hands down, pound for pound, one of the strongest people I've ever pulled, and just super super knowledgeable, really talented, and great attitude, good guy, and I love watching you two go back and forth just because the weight's there for both of you, but the styles are completely different. The leverages are different, so it's entertaining to watch those.
It's always fun.
So yeah, no,
And
we
he
definitely
understands the hand and wrist game in a way that nobody else has ever explained to me. So
absolutely, absolutely.
like if they were handing out PhDs for this stuff, he'd have 3 of them by now.
Probably. I mean, it's good watching him and Corey go at it too. And
Hmm?
it's you take Corey's world of knowledge and then you put Isaac right there, and it looks like it's a battle of two little krakens going at it. And I
Yeah.
say little, I'm not taking anything away from him. Just I'm a massive mountain, so
Corey's not little no more.
no, 200
Huge.
pounds. He's a thick looking boy right now. I'm excited to see how he does at Worlds, and I'm also excited to see him have another run at East versus West if he decides to go that route, or if not,
I don't think so.
no, whatever he
No.
decides to do. Like I'm excited to
No,
see.
I don't think I don't think he wants to go to East versus West, and even if he did, I don't think they'll ever have him back because I think East versus West and IFA are just on
Yeah,
bad
two
terms
weird
right now.
trajectories. I don't even want to like. We have our practice talk about that stuff, but
Yeah, let's
we'll leave
okay.
it for all the other people out there to decide whatever it is, because it is way too much speculation and too much things floating around that we don't know enough about to really have an opinion on. But I'd love to see him perform. Like it was cool to watch him when he went against Prokopchuk. It was cool to watch him when he pulled Giannis. Like so, those are the matches that I want to
I
see.
mean,
I don't care what banner they're under.
I'm curious because I hear him saying things that he's the strongest he's ever been, and it's just over a long career, like you see the level of guys he was pulling back in the day when he was pulling 10 different weight classes at every tournament and winning all of them.
Right.
Like I'm in no place to judge. I'm just curious how he's determining that he's the best he's ever been.
Yeah. No. I mean, nobody knows how strong you are except for yourself.
Exactly. You got
You
to
know.
take his word for it. So,
Yeah. Well, I
but
mean, but
apparently,
he's gripping up with people and smacking them.
yeah. And
He's yeah.
I heard somebody say the other day that AJ couldn't even move him on the right last time they pulled.
That's wild.
It blows me away. Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I can't hit him past center, but I can catch him. So my collection on him, it does piss him off, and I like that I piss him off. It's one of my favorite things. He just he hates it, so it's a good thing. And knowing that we're growing and under his tutelage, whether he takes credit for it or not, or we give him enough credit for it.
Mhm.
Every time I grip it with Corey, I learn from him, and he doesn't have to say a word. So like I really like pulling with Corey. I like pulling with Isaac. Isaac loves to share if you ask him the right question. So yeah, no, we are very fortunate to be in the beltway that we are, to have the guys that we do. So
Yeah.
that led to your, I put it on that I provide a place that we can all get together on Sundays and practice, but you travel down 2 days a week and you're putting in double the work and it's paying off.
Which I think I'm gonna probably be stopping here soon. One with a job that'll most likely be 5 or 6 days a week, and also just I think I need to lighten up on the training for a while,
For
let
sure.
things heat up, and I've always been an overtrainer.
Yeah. That's a
Like
youth thing. It's a youth.
exactly. Like
Yes.
when I first started working out, I could overtrain and still put on 20 pounds on my bench press in a week. I can't do that anymore
Yeah.
just because I've reached the point.
Let it all develop. It's all you're going to do is keep getting stronger. You know,
Mhm.
Eh,
And
you know,
Taylor gave me a workout plan, and I've also talked with Isaac about this kind of thing. And I'm starting to get some ideas how I'm going to structure my workouts for a while now, and I think
that's
it'll
good.
work out good. I
That's
want to
good.
get back to doing bench press and a lot more shoulder exercises. I need a
Very
lot
good.
more arm strength, especially if I want to go up against a guy like Handeland. But I'm starting to. I don't think I'm going to touch any weights this week, just some bands. But next week, I think I'm going to start on a new training course.
Good deal. I like hearing that. I do like hearing that you're incorporating bench. I think it has a lot to do with shoulder integrity.
I
Uh,
used to love bench. I used to do it like 4 or 5 times a week, and I was great at it, but it's just once I started arm wrestling, it kinda took my interest away.
sure. Well, now you see that it has utility, right?
Mhm,
Like it
exactly.
huge function, and it's a good thing that you're versatile in a lot of different lanes, and you get strong in all those lanes. It'll only make you better. So I like hearing that. That's good. That's really good. Um,
Looking forward to it.
with that being said, you've got 4 tournaments, maybe tops this year.
Yeah, like, it's gonna be, Wyoming State and Colorado State for sure. They're close to home, and I love them. Most likely South Dakota State because I love that tournament too. Maybe this Wyoming thing in June if I can make it. I don't think I'm going to be able to make Mexico, which I'm disappointed for. I was looking forward to that trip, but I don't think I can do that one. And then, yeah, I think that's probably going to be about it,
Okay. Yeah,
unless
this the
something else
Mexico one's
pops
a
up.
little weird. I think so.
No, I think it looks cool, and I would have been happy to make it, but I'm going to be right in the middle of my CDL course, so
100%. Totally
got to make
understand.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, priorities, man. Look, you're
Oh
going
yeah.
into the
But
working world.
it's yeah. I mean, it's on a Saturday. I'm sure I'll find a live stream somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be Greg Brown TV. It'll be on Devil's Backbone Pullers. It'll be. Mexicali has their own production that they're doing also, so it's going to have quite a few people in it. And I was just told that one of the guys won the UAL Open overalls, 220 guy, and Greg was telling me I need to be scared, and I laughed. I said it's a different ball game when I'm going down there with a mission. So those who don't know, I'm pulling Sergio Aguilar at the Mexicali National Championships in a super match there. I took Rocco. I can't think of his last name. They call him the Serbian Hammer. I took his spot. He blew his arm up at Winter Blast. This last Winter Blast, one of the guys, I don't know, hit him funny. He wound up breaking some tendons in his bicep, so he's out for a while.
Was it just some
Fortunately,
tendons, or did it tear completely off the bone?
it didn't detach completely, is my understanding, but I also had secondhand information. And I unfortunately didn't get to see it. I did watch the Winter Blast live stream, but they had the four going at the same time, and it was chaos, and they had the other arm break from the gal there, and so it was a wild tournament. But yeah, his fall, unfortunate to him, but I wish him the best, speedy recovery. Then I'll take his spot, and who knows, maybe he and I will have a super match after this when he's all healed up, whenever time allows, and he's all trained up and ready to go.
If it was
Because
at Winter Blast, it's going to be a while. Tendons take a long time to
oh
heal.
yeah, yeah, no, but I mean, I would extend the opportunity to him. I wouldn't get this opportunity if it wasn't for him getting that injury. So, and we actually have a history together, so it's kind of nice in that regard that I would be, inclined to say, "Hey, bud, let's run it back," and make a show of it. But yeah, so this whole Mexicali deal, I think I'm going to be winding up meeting Raul down there, and then just kind of cruising into Mexico with him. I don't think Chantel's going to make it, so
Oh,
it's
that's a
going to
shame.
be, yeah, it's just all the kids, and they get a winter break, or what is it, a late spring break. So they're all actually out of school. All the kids are out of school and stuff. So this will be one tournament that we haven't, attended together. But if we can make it happen, we still will. But if not, then I'm going to be down there solo. So bummer you can't make it, but support is
I'm
support
not sick. I'm most likely not going to make it. I
for sure.
might be through my course by then.
Yeah,
I don't know,
no
but
pressure either way. It'll be a
oh
good
yeah,
one, and I know that I'll have the support of the team behind me on that one. So
oh yeah,
yeah,
always do.
yeah. So all right, well, I mean that's a pretty quick one, man. I'm super proud of your accomplishment there. That is a you first, you forward. You went out there, you represented yourself well. I got a message from Kevin Butts after your performance there, saying I ought to be proud of you, and I just want to say it here and let it go out to the ether. I am proud of you, man. Your
I appreciate
accomplishments
it. And,
just keep on, like your talent just keeps climbing. Your list gets longer and longer. The medals keep stacking up higher and higher. Like, dude, I'm excited to see where it goes and how far you climb
Kevin,
this
Kevin
ladder.
was really helpful at that tournament. Like very encouraging.
That's
That
awesome.
guy always is. He's a ray of sunshine, man.
he is.
You
He's
can't
a good
not like
man.
the guy.
And he's got a phenomenal voice. He fortunately sang to me at Utah. It was great.
He sang.
Oh yeah, he was singing his heart out, and it's not one of those where you're like, oh well, he can carry a tune. He's got some pipes, so he can really let it go. And I was like, wow, man, that's you got some talent. He's like, don't tell anybody. I said, well, I won't. Well, too late. Here you are. Kevin, we're gonna ask you to serenade us at the next victory team battle in Utah. That's the wager. If we lose, our team loses to your team, Garrett's gonna sing for you. And if we win, then Kevin Butts, you have to sing for us.
I'll make that deal.
My man. All right.
Uh, what else? Uh, we got a pretty big event coming up this weekend, don't we?
We do. We've got East versus West 12 coming up on Saturday, and I am looking forward to this. We were talking about it which will be on the beginning there for those who didn't catch what we were discussing. We were talking about the breakdown and how this, in my opinion, is definitely the most stacked card. I'm really looking forward to the card itself. But Garrett brought up an interesting point. The most stacked card of the past was when John Brusink was there, Gary Goodrich. Who else?
Cobra Rhodes. Cobra Rhodes.
Rhodes. They were all inducted to the Arm Wrestling Hall of Fame at that event.
And it's not just the induction. I still think that was like
Just
one
the
of the
card
best
itself.
cards.
Yeah.
Hard,
There was
like,
a lot of talent on that card. I was telling him I think that this is shaping up to be one of my favorite cards. And when you look at the pullers on here, we'll go through the list and we'll make our predictions. But I am excited about this a lot. Like, it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a good day of arm wrestling. I'm going to get a piece of paper out so I can write down my predictions.
So you want to go from top to bottom or bottom to top? Best to worst?
I think we go bottom to top just because we'll save the best for last. You know, the coup de grace.
All right.
And you have your list, which I'll just you can name where you start, and I'll find them on mine.
So we got. So I'm just looking at the card here. I don't have an actual list, but it's Marharint versus Chikadze, and it's Petro Marharint versus Nugo Chikadze.
Yeah, Nugzari.
Nugzari. Okay, all right. So they were saying one of these guys was a really good hook puller who was like hooking everybody back in the day. Like saying one of these guys beat a Kostadinov in a hook outside of the strap.
Yeah, that was Petro.
That was Petro.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the Chikazi guy, he was also a pretty good powerhouse back in like 2017, 2018, I think it was.
High posting top roller. So these
And
are
who are some wins that Chikazi has?
Chikadze beat Svetkov. He beat
Didn't they say Rivas? I think.
Yep, Rivas. He beat Gennady. And these were all, of course, during the national championships for their proverbial countries.
So already I really like this match.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. It's going to be a surprise match, you know, where I think it's going to be a banger. And it's basically, who are you going for? Are you going for the hook puller or the top roller? And Nugzari is the top roller and Petro is the hook puller, with the accolades of Petro being able to hang on to all those dudes in the past. That's
I think I'm kind of leaning towards Petro after going through that little accolades list there. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. Like, again, I don't know much about either of these guys, but based on what we've just discussed here, I would go with Petro Marharint. Am I pronouncing that right? Marharint,
Maharit.
Maharit. Okay.
Yeah. So there's no G, but it kind of, with the roll of the R, it's Maharit.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm actually going to go with the top roller on this, and the only reason why is because everybody wants Petro to win. So I'm going to pick the underdog on this one, just for I like the top roll over the hook.
Just for gets and jiggles.
Yeah, exactly. Just to be different.
All right. Next match we have Brandon Elsesser versus Stoyan Golomanov.
Well, this one is a must for Elsesser. He has to win in order to keep himself alive within the East versus West promotion.
He's been to East versus West once before, right?
Yeah.
Who did he pull?
Who did he pull?
God, that's annoying.
Sasha?
Really?
No. He pulled a strong hook puller. Who did he pull? Wasn't that long ago? It was like East versus West 10. I'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody's saying Elsesser is huge right now. And even at 198 pounds, that guy is huge. So I'm very interested to see what he looks like on the day of the event. Like, he's just got.
Oh, he did. He pulled David Smusha.
Oh yeah, well, can't really hold that one against him.
Right. And I feel like it. Unfortunately,
Haven't smacked him.
and Golmanov is also a hook puller like Samusha. But I would say Alcester actually is it's going to be closer for Alcester on this one. He might actually eke out a victory because he's definitely getting stronger. I like his performance on Monster Factory as well.
Oh yeah, the
So
guy's just a pure power.
I'm gonna
Love.
go. I'll go with Brandon on this one. Pull for the American boy.
I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Right.
So next we have Talgot Aktaev versus Oniani. I think his first name is, what was it? Oniani versus Talgot Aktaev. I can't remember the guy's first name. Betty
Oh,
Killy,
Bet Killy,
Oniani
yeah,
versus
versus
Aktaev.
Aktayev.
So everybody knows Aktaev is one of the fastest guys to ever get on the table. There's a whole bunch of videos of him training with the other Kazakhstan arm wrestlers, and he's just blazing fast.
Yeah,
So
I'm going with Aktayev.
same.
Yeah, I think that it's the same thing. His speed is going to be overwhelming. That's
And I think he's good either inside or outside. So I think, yeah. And Kazakhstan is just such a force lately that you kind of,
got to lean on him for the speed.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Alrighty. So next we have Tobias Sperong versus Kamil Jablonski.
this one
Yablonski.
is interesting. I actually think that Camille is going to win.
You think
Uh,
so?
I do. I like Tobias's top roll. I really think he's got a nice top roll. I don't. Okay, so I'll say it this way: if they let Camille set up the way that he was allowed to set up on Knuckles Up 2, it's Camille all day.
I
If
don't
they,
think they're going to.
yeah, if they square him out and he's not allowed to crowd the
I
path,
think they're going to set him up just like they did against him and Machishenko.
yeah, I think it'd be
Like
closer, but I still give it to Camille. I think
it's
that
all going to come down to who gets off the go first.
I agree to a point.
Because
I do think
they're
that he's
both
got
very
enough.
fast. They're both very fast.
Yeah,
I think I think Tobias actually has a chance of catching Camille off the go if Camille goes first because we've seen him catch guys like Prudnik back in the early East versus Wests.
yeah.
So
I think it'll be interesting because of his
me
path.
personally, I think it's going to be a close one, but I still think Tobias is going to come out on top.
Okay, so we got one different there. I
You're
think
going
Camille. I think it's Tobias's plan, kind of like what he did with uh
Ortolato?
Jack Jesus. Yeah. Uh,
Ortolato, yeah. Wagner.
so when he hit, he let him hit to that lane, and then he top rolled him. I don't think that he's going to be able to stop Camille's press, and Camille's cupping power is also there. So it's going to be a really good battle. I think it's going to be back and forth, but I just think that Camille will eke that out.
I
So it's
disagree
cool.
with Camille's cupping power being there. I don't think he can stop Tobias, who has like Tobias probably has. This is a left-handed match. Yeah, Tobias is. He has the top 10 left in the world. I think it'd be tough for him to catch. I
Yeah.
think it might still be possible, but I don't think he plans on catching Camille at all.
You
Because
don't think so?
oh yeah, because everybody saw with Matyashenko how easily he just put Camille down by not letting him get into his game. And I
Yeah.
think anybody who knows anything about fighting a flop wrist presser knows that the key is to not let him flop wrist.
Yeah, not let him get there. Well, you
Exactly.
got you got a battle of the arm lengths because Camille's what 6'2" and Sabarong is 6'5", and
Sprong is like he looks Vitali in the eye, so he's taller
yeah,
than
he's a
whatever they
pretty
say.
tall guy. But Camille's
They
hockey,
always get the height measurements wrong at the events. God, I
well, because
remember
it's
that
all in centimeters. Like,
I think at one of them they called like Gabby Vasconcelos at like 6'7".
really, oh man,
Just because they mess it up. Just because they mess it up.
the translator was broken. That woman is not even 5 feet tall. However, she is incredibly strong.
Oh
So
yeah, it's all horrible. So this next match is actually one of my favorites on the card. It's going to be Sandras Sedis versus Ibrahim Sagov.
that one's interesting. I got the pleasure of pulling Saunders. I know that he's fast and he's strong. Um,
And
I
we
don't know.
the only times we've seen Sagov was at AMC and also when he pulled Todd Hutchings.
Right.
But I think this might be one of my favorite matches on the entire card.
And which
Honestly,
way are you leaning? I'm going with Saunders on it, but
I think think it's going to be close. Damn, that's a tough one to call for me. I'm going to go Sagov, honestly.
Okay,
He can get that press in there. I'm not sure if Sanders has what it takes to stop it,
I gotcha.
but yeah, that could shape up to be a very good fight. I think it'll end up inside most likely,
He
and I
would
think
he
it's.
would like it. He doesn't get tested inside often, so it'll be a good one inside.
I'm very much looking forward to that one. So next we got Sasha Andreev and Irakli Zirikishvili for the middleweight world title, right-handed.
That one, I have to say, I'm gonna go with Irakli on this one.
100%.
Yeah.
I think Andreev is phenomenal, but after seeing the way that Zirikishvili just dominated Paul, I think
It's
I
gonna
think
be
Zir
insane.
I don't think that Andreev has any way to try and force him inside. I don't think he's going to be able to go sideways like he does. I think Irakli is going to be walking away the new middleweight champion.
And I think he deserves it.
Yeah,
He's super
like
talented.
if it was up to me, I would want to see Andrea versus Rustam Babayev because
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
Babayev almost beat Zirikishvili, and the only reason he lost to Paul Lynn was because he tore his pec.
Right.
So I honestly think Babayev would actually be a more fun match, but whatever. I still
I,
think Irakli's going to win this one.
I think that the Sasha Babayev match would just be a long, drawn out two dudes in the center of the table looking for who can rotate through the other one. Like just sweat. It would look like two Jerry Cataretts sweat dripping on their hands in the center of the table.
I definitely think that's a match that would be fun to watch, and I think it's definitely going to happen.
For sure.
But so next we got Leonidas Arcona versus Schoolboy.
I think this one's a lot closer than people are everybody from what I hear, they're all
Really,
leaning on Schoolboy to just
really.
annihilate Leonidas. Yeah.
I
That
am
was
one of those people, so try and convince me otherwise.
you think that Schoolboy's just gonna annihilate Leonidas?
I think Leonidas might get a stop or two, but I think that's about it.
I think that everybody underestimates his cupping. And that has been his primary focus since his last super match with Larry Wheels. And on the strength, like when you watch the numbers, obviously neither guy is posting what their numbers are, their peak numbers, but they're posting a number. And Leonidas is 60 pounds heavier on his cupping than where Schoolboy's at. I think that Schoolboy is
Yep.
it's gonna be close. I'm not calling it a blowout. I think it's gonna be like silver bullet between the two of them. I think it's gonna be a lot closer between the two, and it's
So
just because
where do you see this going? Like obviously, I think Leonidas probably would want to go inside. I think that's where he likes to go.
he's got an awkward Kings move. He doesn't
Yeah.
have what's his name? He had the big hand, big black guy that beat Schoolboy early on, and he wasn't even an arm wrestler. He's a UFC fighter.
Oh, Khalid Jashel.
Khalid, yeah, Giselle. He doesn't have his style of King's move, but he has a King's move nonetheless, and he's built like a brick house. So I think that he's going to have a really hard time bringing him over. He's gonna go for his top roll like he always does, and I think that Leonidas is going to. It's going to be one of those where he's going to get a 2-2 flash pins. He'll pin him quick, and then after that, Leonidas is going to take over, and I think it's going to finish either 4-2 or 4-3. And I do think it's going to go Leonidas' way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So next match is the left lightweight world title female match. Fia Risek and
Versus Ekaterina.
Ekaterina Nikasheva. Yep.
Yeah, and I love watching Freya. I love watching her perform. I think she's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But Ekaterina is a monster. She is.
She's been kind of off the radar for a couple of years, but
Just pulling just pulling little
yeah.
tournaments, like
But
national events.
back when she was real big, like I think she has one of the most viewed arm wrestling videos on YouTube. Like
Yeah, she's.
she's
I think I hate going away from her because when I first started consuming YouTube videos, I was watching her with the Swedish wrestling team and all those gals. So I really like her style, but I think that Fia doesn't have enough for Ekaterina. So I'm
I'm
going to
gonna go
Ekaterina.
with you on that one. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. So next we got the GOAT Mindaugas Terasitis versus Artur Makarov.
This one is a hard one, and actually,
It really is.
I really like Mindaugas' style. I
I
think
was just
Archer's.
thinking about this one earlier today. Like, I mean, the last time they pulled was how many years ago? God, it's been a long time.
It's been a while,
But
2013 or something.
I mean, the last time we saw Makarov, he was pulling against Adam Wojcinski at the last East versus West, and he ended up getting a pin, but he ended up losing that match.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
but they both pull the same way.
mm-hmm.
So I think that this is going to go Mindaugas' way. I think it'll be a battle, kind of like the Prokopchuk one
You think he's
was.
going to lose the first two and then figure something out?
Yeah, he's
That's
very, very smart puller. I agree with you.
that was kind of my thought earlier today when I was actually thinking about this match. I think the first one, possibly two, is going to go to Makarov, but Mindaugas is going to find the little chink in his armor.
Yeah, and he's going to exploit it. All right.
So next, we got Michael Todd versus Frank Lamparelli.
I think it goes Frank.
Really?
Yep.
How do you see that going?
The reason why I think it goes Frank is because this is what I said. So I was on MGM, so I was on Ready Bang, Maximum Bang, with Uncle John and the Aussie arm wrestler. We were talking about
But he's
that.
getting popular.
Yeah, and I think that Michael Todd wants this back so bad. Frank is the one who caused the injury to Michael Todd that forced Michael Todd to arm wrestle the way he does.
The Kingsmith?
Yeah, up until he got his corrective surgery or whatever. So I think
I
that
thought it was Wagner, man. I saw Wagner break his arm like twice back in the day.
yeah, no, but it was the outside weird hold that he had to keep going to that tore all the tendons and everything up inside. Um, I think that I think it's one of those things. It's not that he has his number because he can beat him. I think it's that Michael Todd is too hungry. I would have wanted somebody a lot easier for Michael Todd to run through for his first match coming back on his test of strength.
You think Michael is just going to be so hyper focused that he misses something?
I think so. I don't think that he's going to be able to flash like he does his inside move for his press, his shoulder roll. I don't think he'll be able to hit it against Frank. I think Frank's static is too strong. And the way that Frank decimated Matt Mask, I don't think that Michael Todd could beat Matt Mask right now. So
Really?
I don't. Even with the numbers that he's doing, I don't think he can. So I think this is going to go Frank's way, and I think it's going to be pretty bad. I think it's going to be 1-4. Like I think that Frank is going to win 4-1.
I think all the last East versus West matches we've seen with Michael Todd, his cupping is completely gone. And if he loses his cupping again like he has been, he's done. But I think if he can maintain his cup in at least a flat wrist position, I think it'll at least be a good fight.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be a good show. And his energy at East versus West is always different. He's overly aggressive. I think that so unless he shows up like tomorrow, if he's not there already,
Probably flying right now, honestly.
yeah, like he should have landed, in my opinion, for him to be acclimated to that environment and get onto establish a sleep schedule, anything, he should have already been there. You looked at, Devin and Levon were there yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's interesting. Like I've never, the most I've ever traveled was like 2 hours difference. So I'm not used to really thinking about how to acclimate when you go completely around the world.
Well,
That's
keep this
interesting.
in mind for when you go over there. The main thing that you want to have is you drink as much water as possible when you get to Greece.
Yeah.
And it's even though you're still in the northern hemisphere, you still need to acclimate to that Zulu change. Like you're jumping forward in time. It does take its toll on you. So the best way to get acclimated anywhere is hydration, water, water, water. So just and I'm pretty sure that you guys are gonna go at least 5-6 days early.
Not sure. Depends on the time.
I would just assume so because Corey's been there.
Yeah.
You know what
well,
I mean?
I might not be going at the same time as Corey.
True.
It'll all depend.
Yeah, but just for you, for that sake, that's the only recommendation. Just water, water, water.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm never traveled that far, so good to have.
Yeah.
So next match, right-handed, Georgi Svetkov, Alex Kardashev.
This is my favorite match next to the main event. and I love Georgi. He's one of my favorite pullers. Alex Kardeccia is one of my favorite pullers. I like their
I'm
style.
so
I think
glad Alex finally came back.
I relate in size, right? Like that's why I'm so drawn to them. I'm gonna give this to Kardeccia. I think that he's got the frame. He's big enough up top to get on top of Georgi's arm, and
Hmm.
that is something that no other puller can do frame wise. And I really think that Kardeccia is going to be able to exploit that. Georgi gets into a nice static position in his top roll position, low hand, and he sits outside and he's able to maintain. I don't think he's going to be able to do that with Kardeccia because Kardeccia is so damn big. So
Okay.
I think it's going to be a battle. I just like Morozov Kardeccia was a battle. I think this is going to be a battle, but I think it's going to go in Kardeccia's favor.
I remember you sharing your opinion about Morozov Kardeccia, saying you think Morozov actually gave a round or two.
I do think he gave it to him. You watch it back, and Georgi has the win on Morozov also. So
And people will
Georgi,
make the argument that Morozov was sick, but
yeah,
it was still Morozov.
a win is a win, and I could care
Exactly.
less. I would never take it away from anybody being
Exactly.
a
It's
participant
still
in
Morozov.
exactly, and he gets the name on the belt, like it's there. But
And I mean,
stylistically, go ahead.
go ahead. So I mean, the thing was, Georgie kind of got a bad debut in the East versus West when he ended up losing to Jerry barely on fouls.
Awkward.
So yeah, coming in and beating Morozov was, if anything was going to redeem the guy, it was that.
Yep. And even then, people still tried to sell the victory short,
Mhm.
and it doesn't
But
matter.
you saw the run he went on after that. Like what he had somebody else, and then he had Devin Larrett, where he put up a good fight against Devin.
Yep, he did. But I mean, I think that with that, Devin could have beaten Georgi kind of at any time, like it was at will. I
I
think that
lately Devin has been saying stuff that he was not in the best shape for the Georgie match, and I call bullshit on that.
100%. I do, but I do think Devin was the stronger puller that day, and no
I
matter
th-
what,
I think Georgie, his pulling style was not right to beat Devin, but I think he had the strength that he could have pulled something off.
agreed. But Georgi's other match was Zauer Pozelaev.
Yeah, and
So,
he whooped Zauer.
but that I Pozelaev is not an endurance super match puller, and it
I
showed.
mean, but even off the first go, he managed to crack back Pazalaev's wrist and bring him on back, which not a lot of guys at the time could say they done that. Like there was
Right.
the video of Pazalaev rolling through Dennis for the first couple of rounds. So
That and he also beat what's
Laletin,
yeah,
Salayev,
yeah, exactly. Vitali
yeah.
beat Selayev. Yeah, he beat
So
all these guys. Like so it was a good win for him. But Zauer is not an endurance puller,
exactly.
so that's ultimately why
So
he lost.
but back to this match, I think Svetkov, I think he's got the wrist that he can pull this off. I'm
So
gonna
you're
lean.
going
I'm
Georgi.
calling. Yeah, I'm calling Georgie.
Cool. And I would go take it either way. Like it's going to be my favorite match to watch.
I think it'll
Next
be a
to
good one. Yeah,
me.
like I think Georgie's a one-trick pony. Alex has the ability to move around.
Well,
I
yeah,
think that's what could make the difference in this match. So it's all going to come down to, does Alex's A move work or does he have to go to the backup?
yeah,
Which, yeah, I think it'll be a good match. So next we got Davitt Samushia versus Nurdalet Aderkin for
yeah.
the right hand.
I hate saying it, but this is going to go to Team Kazakhstan, in my opinion. I think
I think
Nerdlet
so.
is just way too fast for Samusha.
Yep.
Samusha's a grinder like the Zarab Samusha match. They just
So this
but
being a title match, they're going best of six, possibly seven if it goes to it.
to the silver bullet, yeah.
Exactly. And we've seen Samushia lose the first couple of rounds and then come back later. So obviously the guy knows something about figuring out his opponent, being able to force the hook.
Definitely high table IQ.
Exactly. I think the first two rounds, maybe even three, could go to Aderkin, but I wouldn't put it past Samushia to be able to figure him out. I think this could be a silver bullet, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I definitely think it's close. And I think that if Nerdalet loses, I think it's because he loses on fouls.
That makes sense.
because he's going to try so hard to be fast.
Yeah. You yourself have called a couple other matches on here as silver bullets,
yeah.
but this is the only one I really look at and say I could see this being a silver bullet match.
Sure. Well, it's the
I like it. I think it's going to be a good match.
I agree. These are top. I would say top 4, top 5, because I'm looking forward to the schoolboy Leonidas as well.
Yeah. For me, again, like Sandris and Ibrahim Sagov, I think that's one I'm going to enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Saunders as a puller.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Because he beat you?
The tape doesn't show he beat me, but the confidence at which he walked away from the table telling me to watch the tape, and then I go back and it's this far, I'm like, bro. So that's not, no, it was just that arrogance, like,
I had a match with a guy like that and I still don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't hate the guy. I want him to be successful, but that's where
I hate my guy.
I'm still calling for him to win, even though I don't like him.
Anyways, so it's the second to last match, left super heavyweight, Hermes versus Muratov.
This one is scary, and this is my prediction. I think that Muratov is going to beat Hermes left-handed the way that Hermes beat Garrett right-handed.
Wow. That's a lot right there.
It's left hand. Muratov is a fucking monster.
He's dangerous, dude. Like how many classes did Muratov win at WAF the other year? Like
what's that?
He won so many fucking classes at WAF Worlds the other year. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I definitely see the potential of Muratov to do something, but when Hermes had his left-handed match against Artem, when Artem was the best in shape he ever was, and undisputed the #1 left in the world, he still managed to put up a little bit of a fight. And I'm just not sure if I can see Muratov with the same wrist strength that Artem had to use to beat him that day.
But Muratov beats Morozov.
What?
Yeah, like their whole practice when they're pulling. Oh yeah. It was like watching David pull with Saplinkov when David was yanking Saplinkov over and Saplinkov like being shocked that he got ripped open so hard. That's what Muratov was doing to Morozov.
I need to find the footage. if what you speak is truth, then yes.
I see this being I see Hermes getting the reenactment of Jerry Carteret, but not in his favor. And that's exactly what I said on Uncle John and Aussie Arm Wrestler too. Like I was like, no.
If what you're saying is true, and I'm gonna go look it up as soon as the podcast is over,
of course,
then yeah, Muratov.
I never not want to be checked. Like
I get it.
Yeah, so that's my opinion there, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of thing. But exactly. No, I give this to Muratov over Hermes, and Hermes is also one of my favorite bowlers. So
can't not love the guy.
Yeah, I called Hermes being a Levant beater, 2 years ago, and
I was there. I remember.
Yep, and I stand on it. So. All right, and then and I'll share this one last. My take on Hermes, the reason that I feel like this is motivation that carries us into the final match. I feel like comparing Hermes and Devin and Levant and having a 3-way kind of trying to validate which one's going to beat who in this match is like comparing toddlers to babies. I feel like that Levant is going to absolutely destroy Devin. There isn't a chance. I don't care how strong Devin has got with his lifts and all these unique lifts that he's doing. There is no lane. And when people are like, well, Devin decimated Hermes. Hermes' arm is shorter than Levant's. Hermes was able to get his shoulder behind his hand and get into a position that Devin has no chance of getting into.
And on that match, I still think Hermes lost to Devin was a fluke.
Oh yeah, it was completely in his head.
Exactly. Yeah. So I still stand by the fact that if Hermes was in his right mind, he would have won that day.
I think he will beat him now. I think that Devin
I think
exploited
Hermes is
two
pissed.
things. Yeah, he exploited two things with Hermes. He exploited the first one, that his mind is weak, and I think that Hermes has gone through the training and shored that up.
I
And
think it
I
was the
think
fact that Hermes had been chasing Devin for so long. Like he'd been calling him out since the first or first or second king of the table.
right.
That was just. I think he was maybe a little starstruck.
Fanboying is a bitch. I'm guilty of it.
Yep.
And I agree with that 100%. And I think that Devin knows it. And I think that
Devin played into it like a fucker.
oh yeah, much like Mayweather, who I don't like his personality with regard to boxing, but he's a phenomenal boxer. He picked and chose when he wanted to fight the people that he did, because he knew that he was the better one at that time.
He
And
used it to his advantage.
I think that Devin would have got his ass whooped if he'd have taken Hermes up on his offer the first time he was called out, because Hermes was just too damn strong.
Well, back when Hermes first called him out was like King of the Table 3 when he whooped Gennady. And yeah, there was no way Devin could have stopped him then.
Exactly. So Devin was smart, and then he found a way to exploit two things on Hermes. So in this one, that leads me to that final prediction. I don't think that Devin stands a chance at all.
Something's gonna break again.
Yeah. And he will. He'll commit himself to it 100%. And
So
that's yeah.
so everybody has the opinion on Devin versus Levon, but the one that actually kind of shows a lot more is when you ask people who they want to win.
Right now, everybody says, "Oh, my heart says Devin," but my
Actually, I'm seeing a lot of people right now saying they want Levon to win, like more than the last match.
really, I haven't even with the
I'm seeing a surprising amount,
yeah,
like in
that's
certain
crazy.
YouTube comment sections, and I mean, I get it. I mean, he's the like think back east, like they hate seeing any of their guys lose to Americans,
Right.
and then all of a sudden they see an American get a chance. Well, a Canadian,
Yeah, a North American. Yeah.
a North American, yeah. So yeah, I'm surprised. Like, and I'm almost guilty of wanting Levon to win this one myself
It's not even a
because
want.
no, like for me, it's almost I almost want Levon to win more than I want Devin because I've been hearing a lot of the Devin fanboy talk lately, especially after the Hermes match, and I'm just getting kind of sick of it.
Right. That's fair.
And I've said it before. I've been converted from being a Devin fanboy. Like
So now you're just an arm wrestler.
exactly.
You're not a spectator. That's how I
I'm
view it.
no longer part of that fringe cult. You know,
Yeah. The what do they call them? The Devonites.
Devonites. Yep.
Which is you think about that one. I that's how I look at arm wrestling is when you watch arm wrestling as a spectator, you automatically gravitate toward Devin because
He's a
he's a
showman.
showman. Exactly. But once you become an arm wrestler, then you're like,
This guy's
because
a
I
dick.
hate dealing with guys like that across the table. And then
Exactly.
you become an arm wrestling fan.
Exactly.
So well,
I
good
mean,
for you on the conversion. Welcome to the rest of the yeah. So in this case, you are what does your mind say and what does your heart say for Devin and Levon?
I still kind of want to see Devin win just because Levon has been at the top for a while.
Sure.
So, but it's at the point where I honestly, it's like I'm leaning towards I want Levon to win. Not a whole
Gotcha.
lot, but enough.
Yeah.
And when it comes to being sensible, I think Levon is going to rip right through him. You know, everybody's saying everybody's saying Devin is 10% stronger and Levon is 10% weaker than their last match. Thing is, Levon was way more than 20% stronger than Devin in their last match. So that 10% ain't going to mean nothing.
Right. And he
And
looks bigger now.
also, I don't think Levon is that much weaker.
No.
I think he's been bullshitting everybody.
Uh, agreed.
Like I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the day before the event he releases a video of him wrist curling over 100 kilograms,
I
and that would just be hilarious to me.
I think that you're smelling the truth. Like I really feel the same way. I feel like it's better for people to think that his injury is far more than it is.
I mean,
And
when I saw the video, he doesn't look huge, but he looks lean and vascular.
yeah,
He's not carrying a whole lot of fat on him. So I definitely I think people are selling him short.
yeah. He's
And I think
137 kg right now.
Levon?
Yeah,
Holy shit. 137.
maybe. Well, it was. What did he say?
Has to be.
He was
Dude,
talking
has to be.
to
Because he was like
Coach Ray.
180 when he was last pulling.
Yeah,
You're saying he dropped that much weight?
and I might have misheard it.
I I'm not saying it's impossible to drop that much weight, but
He looks massive from the waist up.
yeah. Well,
So
he's always had small
I
legs.
have to go to Coach Ray's deal.
If he's 137, that's ridiculous.
100,
But
157.
okay,
So I
that's
misheard.
light. That's still lighter than I thought. That's around what, the 350 mark?
Yeah, 365 ish.
Yeah.
Let's see, two.
So that's lighter than I thought he'd be, but
Yeah,
it's still.
350. But he looks massive. Like he looks bigger than he did.
And at the same time, he looks trim. Like, so
All muscle definition just looks huge. I'll
exactly.
have to go back
So
and watch the Coach Ray deal again. But um, yeah, no, he when he walked in, they did a weird pull in the limo, left-handed.
people are putting so much into that.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, he couldn't move him past. He was like, he had to use so much grip strength.
Levon was holding him and just laughing.
Yeah, well, not only that, he was. You could tell it was straining him some. In my opinion, that's what it looked like. But Devin is literally both feet underneath Levon on that bench, and then standing up to pull himself away, and Levon is still holding him there.
Hmm.
Like I don't care.
And that's the thing when you're pulling against a Larrett, like people are gonna buy into everything he says, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like Devin as much anymore.
Yeah,
Because I don't think no matter who you are as an athlete, it's kind of a no-win situation. Because if you lose to Devin, well, you just lost to Devin Larrett. But if you win, people are still going to be saying Devin is the greatest there's ever been. Like he'll get him next time. And
yeah.
I see that being transferred over to Auden now that he's arm wrestling as well, which I know saying this could probably get me blacklisted from some big time events if I ever made it there, but
I
it's
doubt
just
it.
I don't see pulling a Larrett as I don't see any winning in it.
I, the mental games start beforehand, and that's what they predicate their careers on is the showmanship as opposed to the honor amongst competitors. So
Exactly.
it I don't think it'll ever tarnish you in any way because you're not going out to say screw them or anything else, but it makes you cautious about like, okay, well, I get the opportunity to pull this guy. Well, here we go. I'm gonna go. I'm here for the ride. I'm not here for the victory, right? Like, because what do you get to
Yeah,
take away from it?
but
So
yeah, you and me have been talking like we're both everybody that we've been talking had in the club. They're all in agreement that Devin's done.
yeah, yeah. I think which is weird to see because I see on even on the polls or listening to all the Devonites, Devonians on
It's
Uncle
like
John's
60-40
Nazi arm wrestling.
in
Yeah, it
most of
was
them I see.
dude. They're all no, they were all. It was 100% on the
Really?
voting poll. They were all like, "Oh, Devin's gonna smash him," and I just wrote my comment in there, which I really appreciate. They all recognize me as the Big Biscuit. They all know Legend, but I write in there. I'm like, "Hey, it's the Big Biscuit." Ha ha ha. But I think you guys are doing great or whatever. And then they go on this tirade about, oh well, here's this 400-pound, big old black guy that we couldn't figure out his name, and so we named him Biscuit. So, anyways, most of my comments were being prompted up on the
You've
screen.
become a legendary big biscuit. That's
Yeah, I don't know. Like it is what it is. I'm just embracing the biscuit.
Hey, if
For
my name has to be Gar-Bear, you have to be Big Biscuit. Suck it up and deal with it.
the legendary Big Biscuit is fine as long as my name is
There it is.
a part of it. That I'm okay with it.
There it is.
I have no shame. I use it to get attention. But yeah, I posted on there. I said, "Look, man, you guys are all delusional. Like, you guys all have Ryan Bone syndrome. Where it's you guys think that you're going to destroy that Devin has somehow gotten 100% stronger. There wasn't even a stopping point when they were like, oh, he stopped him at the end. Okay, he stopped him about here from the pin pad for half a second.
Mm-hmm.
At what point is that a stop?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on to get obliterated the rest of the way. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
It's what being Devin Larrett is. Like if he gets something, he makes people believe it.
Yeah,
And
way cool. The
they
great,
eat it up.
great Canadian hope. It's fine.
But yeah, I think you and me are in agreement. The only guy in the next couple of years who has a chance of beating him is going to be Rees.
Yeah, I think Morozov's got a long way to go. I think Krdecha would be the closest second, and he's still got a
I
good
think
3-4 years.
I think with Morozov, the biggest problem is him keeping healthy because he had that thing with his gut, but I don't think that was the only problem he's had
No,
recently.
he's had a shoulder issue, gut, hand, all the
I
different,
mean, the
all the
guy's
things.
young. The guy's young enough, but I think being healthy is his biggest obstacle right now.
I agree, 100%. Man, it's been a pleasure. My
It
champion,
always is.
my IFA national champ, left hand.
The first of many national champions to be produced by the Devil's Backbone.
That's a fact. That is a fact. We are coming. We're strong. We're hungry, and we're getting noticed. So
50 years from now, when this is a legendary club in the United States, they're going to have a list of all the national champions, and mine is going to be first on that list.
yours will be first. That's right, and it'll probably be up there several times.
Oh, plenty.
Hey man, it's been a pleasure. Thank
It
you for
always
your
is.
time, and I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
All right.
All right,
Have
brother.
a good one.
You
I'll
too.
see you later.
Later.